Roberts Giuffre. And this lawsuit has been settled, but numerous news organizations had asked for these documents to be unsealed. The judge has ordered the unsealing, and we're starting to see them to hit the docket. Right now, there's about 40 documents that are on the docket, totaling more than 900 pages. So our team is culling through them now. But this is all, part of this lawsuit, and part of the reason why the judge said that she would unseal the names in these documents is because a lot of these names have already become public, either through the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's former or longtime girlfriend, who was convicted of helping him sex traffic minors, as well as through interviews that a number of accusers have given to news organizations, and just other information that has come out over the 20 years that Epstein has been alleged to have been involved in this sex trafficking operation. So we're starting to see some of these names come out, and Virginia Giuffre has been very public about her allegations, accusing prominent politicians of having been forced to have sex with them, as well as her allegations against Prince Andrew. She had reached a settlement with the prince where he's agreed to make a sizable donation. So we're going to go through these documents to see if we're learning any new names or new allegations. But a lot of this information has already been public, and that is why the judge has agreed to unseal it.
We'll see what happens. Kara Scannell, thank you very much. And to our viewers, thanks very much for watching. I'm Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room. Aaron Burnett out front starts right now.
Out front next, breaking news. Trump appeals to the Supreme Court, the former president asking the nation's highest court to overturn Colorado's ruling banning him from the ballot. His legal team says what happened on January 6th was not an insurrection. Also tonight, on the brink of a global war. After explosions kill more than 100 people in Iran, the president there pointing the finger at the United States. Is the war in the Middle East about to get much bigger? And we are live tonight in Iowa as Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis face some tough questions with days.
So I want to tell you guys that they are saying that, hold on. There we go. Can y'all hear? Okay. They are saying that the Epstein site crashed. People's already downloaded it, but I guess on Pacer, which is where if you're approved, you can get the documents, and I can't get them. I'm getting them from I'll get them from Twitter, I guess right now. Somebody's already else got them, but Pacer it's down. It's down. So, but it's already out. We're just waiting for it. Bear with me while I search for it. CNN was the only one talking about it. Let me see if I can move over to Fox. It was playing. See if they're talking.
One of your colleagues, Senator Chuck Schumer, is making fun of the House trip of over 60 House Republicans that have been to the border today, and says,
bear with me 1 second.
Scheme. He's also one of the 6 unnamed co-conspirators in Jack Smith's indictment of Donald Trump.
Okay, we don't care.
Cassidy Hutchinson has mentioned Perry and
fighting the fighting. I'd fight. So I'd fight, they'd fight, I'd fight, they'd fighting. We fight like hell. Fight like hell.
Trump.
So we're waiting. There's 900 pages. 900 pages that are out. I've got some expecting about 150 names from what I hold on. Bear with me. Epstein, John Doe 110 allowed to keep identity secret for now. That was okay. 1 second. I am scrambling. So Tech Frog just a moment ago said this on here. The Jeffrey Epstein files have been unsealed. We have the documents. Here's the most important: John Doe's. We start with Clinton, John Doe number 36, whose deposition was essential to provide info of the relationship of Maxwell and Epstein. In 2011 interview, Mr. Giraffe, how do you pronounce it, mentioned former President Clinton, Bill Clinton close personal relationship with defendant and Jeffrey Epstein, while Miss Jewel Free made no allegations in illegal actions of Bill Clinton. Miss Maxwell, in her deposition, raised Miss whatever her name is comments about President Clinton as one of the obvious lies to which she was referring in her public statement. That formed the basis of the suit. This is the important part. Apart from the defendant and Mr. Epstein, former President Clinton is the key person who can provide information about his close relationship with defendant and Mr. Epstein and disprove Miss Maxwell's claims. Okay, so there's that. We're going to go back to this news while it sorts through. A lot is going on right now. Let's see here.
So, Ty, you've had a chance to read through Trump's filing tonight, this appeal that we knew was coming right now. You've had a chance to see the arguments and the details that they make. You thought originally this could be a 9-0 rule.
Could be former governor of Arkansas and Chris Bedford, executive editor of the Common Sense Society. Governor, none
Bear
of
with
that
me while I
deters
look
people
at
from
this.
crossing illegally. So what is the point?
Well, the point is Joe Biden wants an open border. He thinks he's importing Democrat voters for the future. But here's the outrage. We got about 35,000 veterans who are homeless in America right now, have no place to go. They're not getting free rent. They're not getting hotel rooms with meals. There are 650,000 homeless people in the country. We just let 7 million in, and we're providing everything, including a college education for them. It makes me kind of think that this year for vacation, I'll not go anywhere. I'll go to the southern border. I'll walk across and say, I'd like a hotel room, like some health care, give me some meals. I'll just vacation here in the U.S. and let Uncle Joe pay for it, because he seems to really love this idea of slipping across the southern border, no questions asked.
It sure does. Chris, and to show the expectation, and maybe you certainly call it the lack of gratitude, here's the New York Times on December 13th. Some of these folks that are getting these meals are saying, it's just not good enough for us. Here's the quote. New York City is paying tens of thousands of dollars a month for meals that are supposed to go to feed migrants, but instead are never eaten and thrown away, according to internal documents. So, Chris, not only are we paying for meals, but we're wasting meals that they're not eating because they're not good enough, even though they're free for the people who came here illegally.
Yeah, and that's a story that's been going on in New York City for all year now. There's been some disgusting and awful pictures that have come out, the way these hotels are treated, the way the staff are treated. People don't even want to go in there to the places where people are being housed a lot of the times, with the amount of debris left over from.
Okay, I want to show you this while we wait.
Maxwell of raping her along with Epstein when she was just 14 years old. Brian Yennis has more on this. Brian.
Julie, good afternoon. This is the first time that this woman is speaking publicly about her rapes. She says that Ghislaine Maxwell is just as evil as Jeffrey Epstein. She claims that the rapes began when she was 14 years old in Florida and went all the way through until she was 16. She says Maxwell not only facilitated her sexual abuse by Jeffrey Epstein, but she claims Maxwell abused her at the same time with Epstein. She also said Maxwell would abuse her one-on-one, coaching her how to have sex with men.
She did rape me. I would say it's more than 20 or 30 times. She is a rapist, destroyed what was supposed to be the best years of my life, being a teenager, being a cheerleader.
Jane Doe said the abuse ended only after she became pregnant with Jeffrey Epstein's baby at age 16. She said she got an abortion, but suspecting that she told her grandparents about that abortion and fearful that she'd go to the authorities, Jane Doe claims Maxwell, Epstein, and others gang raped her one last time before a driver dropped her off naked on her grandparents' lawn.
All right, y'all.
Galen was a part of it, and Jeffrey Epstein was a part of it, and I was drugged, gang raped, and left on the lawn.
I just got it, y'all.
And they put a gun to me, and the man that drove me home said I would never come back alive.
I just got the list.
I spoke about it.
She says Maxwell threatened her and her family if she ever spoke about it. She said she was recruited by a friend and introduced to Epstein and Maxwell, who promised to help her modeling career. Now that Maxwell's in custody, Jane Doe says she wants to be a witness in her upcoming trial. She is willing to take the stand to help New York federal prosecutors put Ghislaine Maxwell away. We reached out to Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney, Julie, who said about these specific allegations, quote, "No comment."
All right, guys, hit the thumbs up button. We just got the list. It is long. Let's see here. Haddon, Morgan, and Freeman. Hold on. I'm going to play something for you while I look over this list, because it's going to take a minute, probably, most likely. Let me see if anyone's talking about it. All right, we don't need any of that. All right, hold on. I'm going to switch it over. Just bear with me. I got the list.
Every day can be extraordinary with rich, creamy, delicious Fage total yogurt.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. This is an important message for people on Medicare. Today we are talking about Medicare Advantage plans. If you're new to Medicare, moving or losing coverage, and don't have a Medicare Advantage Part C plan, call now because there may be a Medicare Part C plan with additional benefits available in your zip code. You can call now to find out if you're eligible to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits. Just call 800-454-1178 and a licensed insurance agent can look up your eligibility and plan options and see if you're eligible to enroll in a Medicare Part C plan that could save money or include additional benefits. Don't wait. You are not automatically enrolled in a Part C plan with additional benefits. If you're new to Medicare, moving or losing coverage, call for your free, no obligation Medicare benefits review. You won't know what plan options are available to you unless you call, so call now. The call is free. Call 800-454-1178. 800-454-1178.
It's breaking the internet right now. It's literally breaking the internet.
Today we are talking about Medicare.
This is insane.
If you're new to Medicare, moving or losing coverage, and don't have a Medicare Advantage Part C plan, call now because there may be a Medicare Part C plan with additional benefits available in your zip code. You can call now to find.
Look at this, y'all. All right, let me back up. Do you know if Bill Clinton was a friend of Jeffrey Epstein? Answer: I knew he had dealings with Bill Clinton. I did not know they were friends until I read the Vanity Fair article about them going to Africa together. Question: did Jeffrey ever talk to you about Bill Clinton? Answer: this is all alleged. I'm just going to say for my protection. He said one time that Clinton likes young, referring to girls. So there is that. I've got someone that is, I think, starting to sorted through the list. Uh-oh, hold on, maybe here. Yeah, it's still breaking. It's a lot to go through, but it will be out. I got it. There's 147 names. At the moment. Let me see if this has popped back up yet. Yeah, you see, I don't want to make this political. To me, it's not about making it political. To me, it's if you did wrong, you did wrong. And it doesn't matter who I voted for or any of us voted for, in my opinion. It's really about wrong is wrong. And if we say that, if we mean that for the party that we vote against, we also have to mean that for the party that we support. Where the hell was it? Give me 1 second. One second, y'all. Bear with me, guys. I just lost that stream.
There was a bomb. People showed up to help. There was another bomb. It was a horrific event. What more are you learning about who's behind it and what retaliation could actually occur because of it?
Jesus Christ. 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to find something for y'all to watch while I do this. We'll just go through it together otherwise. Yeah, got it.
So they really feel that Israel is digging at them. They've been cautious to keep themselves away from the fight in Gaza, but this
anything about this. You know, you think about even issues like immigration and the border. I'm just one state governor, and yet look what we've done. We've sent National Guard to the border to help Texas. I've interdicted boats coming into Florida, helping the Coast Guard from like Haiti, and we've been able to work with the Coast Guard to send the people, the illegals, back to Haiti or Cuba or wherever they're coming from. We have E-Verify so that we have a legal workforce, so people just can't come across the border and get hired illegally. anti-smuggling laws. So when people are bringing in illegals from the border, they can be held accountable. We even have a program similar to Texas where you transport illegal aliens to sanctuary jurisdictions, including places like Martha's Vineyard. And you know what? You have the left in this country. They have their elite enclaves. They want open borders. They want you to have to deal with it, but they don't want to have to deal with it. And so the minute they have to deal with issues about illegal immigration, they pitch a fit about it. People in Manhattan, they don't like the fact that you have people going there. So we've been able to, in Texas as well, really raise the threshold and the visibility on this issue of the southern border. So with me as president, I will do what I say I'm going to do, and I will end this problem once and for all. We're going to declare it to be a national emergency on day one. I'm going to marshal all resources, including our military, to stop the invasion. People that have come illegally, we're going to deport back to their home country. We've people since Biden has come in from all over 100 countries, Middle Eastern countries, North Africa, China, Russia. Do you think all these people just mean us well? Of course not. This is a huge threat to this nation's security. So we're going to do that. We will do a border wall with Mexico paying for it. Now, I know that was promised in 2016. The issue is Mexico's not just going to fork over cash, of course. The way you get other countries to pay for the wall is you impose a fee on the remittances that workers send to foreign countries like Mexico, places in Central America, all around. This is billions of dollars a year you would be able to raise, no problem. We'll plow that into constructing the wall. If we did have a wall when Biden took over, he wouldn't have been able to bring in 8 million illegals because that's a physical fact of life. And people would not have been able to just get through willy-nilly. But I think, so that's important. But of all the things we have to do, we have to hold the Mexican drug cartels accountable for what they are doing to this country, because they are invading our country and they are poisoning our people with fentanyl, killing tens of thousands of
Okay, I think I'm getting a little bit of information here. So
trying to do to get some sort of a diplomatic initiative to calm down tensions
all right,
between Israel and Lebanon.
Okay. 1 second, I'm getting a call from. Hello. Yeah. All right, guys. So, got the list. I got some of the names here. Okay, 1 second. Here's some of the list that they are compiling. I'll read them off. Hold on, let me see if I can. I'm going to make this bigger for y'all. That way we can see it all together. You know what I mean? Jelly beans. All right. Akon. I don't know if that's the singer. Real name. Adam Perry. Alec Baldwin. Anderson Cooper. Hold on. 1 second, y'all. Yes. Okay. All right. So I want to make sure that we understand that I need to put this disclaimer up, and mods, please put this disclaimer up in the chat room as well. These people are just people on a list. This does not mean that they are guilty of anything whatsoever. This is just a list. Okay. Bear with me. All right. Where am I? Okay. All right. Ben Affleck, Beyonce, Clinton, Bill Murray, Brian Affleck, Karen Casey, Charlie Sheen, Chelsea Handler, Chris Tucker, Chris Wagner, Chrissy Teigen, Cindy Lopez, Courtney Love, Dan Snyder, David Koch, David Yarbo, Demi Moore, Ed Tuttle. I'm trying to just go through the names that, of course, Julian Maxwell, James Franco, James Gunn, Gene Mitchell, Jeffrey Epstein, obviously, Jim Carrey, Jimmy Kimmel, John Legend, Julia Bryant, Justin Rowland, Kathy Griffin, Katy Perry, Kevin Spacey, Kelly Spam, Christy Rogers, Larry Summers, Madonna, Oprah, Mark Epstein, Michelle Wolf, Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, Will Ferrell, Will Smith, Woody Allen, Seth Green, one second. Bear with me, y'all. Trying to find something. 7. Okay. The mod that just sent me this, there's so much here, y'all. Oh my God, there's so much. Okay. Thankfully, Taylor's. Oh my God. You know, it doesn't mean, right? It doesn't mean like anyone is, you know, guilty of anything. We don't know. What this means is there's names on the list, and it just means that's really all it means. Bear with me for 1 second. For download. Okay. Holy shit. There is. Yeah, CNN and Fox News, they got a whole team. How do I have another. Here, I'll read it to you. All right. Here's something that's interesting in it. I'll share. Flying on a helicopter with Julian Maxwell. Answer, I believe that it was taken out of context. Julian told me that she flew Bill Clinton in. And Julian said to talk a lot of stuff that sounds fantastical. And whether it's true or not, that is what I do recall telling Sharon Churcher. So you told Sharon Churcher that Julian Maxwell is the one who told you that she flew Bill Clinton in a helicopter? I told Sharon Churcher that Julian flew Bill Clinton on the island based upon Julian had told me, not based upon what Bill Clinton had told you. Correct. Did you ever ask Sharon Churcher to name anything that was printed under the name concerning your stories under Sharon Churcher? I was given those stories to read before they were printed. Oh, isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? You get to read the stories before they come out, huh? Allegedly. After they were printed, did you read them? I tried to stay away from them. They were very hard. You have to understand it was very hard. It was a very hard time for me and my husband to have this public. We didn't think it was going to be this public announcement and that big. So we turned off the news and stopped reading so many things. You didn't read the articles about your stories to Sharon Churcher? I read some articles. Question, let me finish. You did not read the articles published by Sharon Churcher about the stories of, I don't know if that's redacted or just a line there. Yeah, Orgy Island is more like it, isn't it? Okay. I'm getting some more stuff here. 1 second. Bear with me. Okay. Right, and an increase corresponding to messages you were given to guests, correct? Yes. Did any of the guests for whom you gave a massage mention that they expected something SEXUAL? No. Did they ask for you to engage in SEXUAL contact and you refused? Objection. Witness, no. By Miss Menninger, Marvin Minsky, I don't know that. George Lucas, no. Donald Trump, no. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. Sorry, I have to ask, but did you ever have SEX with Alan Dershowitz in the back of a limousine with Virginia and Jeffrey present? Objection. Absolutely not. Okay. I know I'm on my true crime channel, but I'm clutching my pearls right now. Like, I'm really clutching my pearls. Alrighty then. Let's got another one. All right. Bubbly. Did you see her in the plane or in the trip to New York engaging in any kind of affectionate or SEXUAL contact with Jeffrey? No. With I call her Julie Ange. No. How did it come to be that you were in the casino in Atlantic City? Answer. As we were flying, Jeffrey said, why don't you go sit in the cockpit to check out the landing? So we were sitting there and the pilots told me to go back and tell him that we can't land in New York and that we're going to have to land in Atlantic City. Jeffrey said, great, we'll call up Trump and we'll go to, I don't recall the name of the casino, but we'll go to the casino. And what happened with the ID issue? Miss McCallney, objection. The witness, as I knew is that she was not going to be allowed to gamble. And so I spent time with her we were just walking around. I don't remember what we did because bear with me, y'all. I gotta email myself something. That's my phone going crazy. Mm. Yes, you're exactly right, SU. There's too much secrets. This is a huge one. Okay, let me see what Fox is saying here. David Copperfield is David Copperfield. Icole. I wasn't expecting that one. David Copperfield? Copperfield, rather. Yeah, that's here's something interesting. Jeffrey's home when you arrived. Yes, I first walked in the door. It was just myself, and Julian headed for the staircase and told me to come up to the living room. And what happened at that point when you came up to the living room, I came up and saw Virginia, Jeffrey, Prince Andrew, Gillicent, whatever her name is, in the room. And did you meet Prince Andrew that time? Yes. And what happened next? Answer. At one point, I call her Jillian, told me to come upstairs, and we went into the closet and pulled out the puppet. What the caricature of Prince Andrew and brought it down. Okay. And there was a little tag on the puppet that said Prince Andrew on it. And that's when I knew who he was. And what did the puppet look like? It looked like him. And she brought it down and presented it to him. And that was a great joke because apparently it was a production from a show on BBC. And they decided to take pictures with it, in which Virginia and Andrew sat on a couch. They put the puppet on Virginia's lap, and I sat on Andrew's lap, and they put the puppet's hand on Virginia's breast. And Andrew put his hand on my breast, and they took a photo. Do you remember who took the photo? I don't recall. Did you ever see the photo after it was taken? I did not. As Miss Maxwell was present during, was Miss Maxwell present during that? Yes. Was what happened next? The next thing I remember is just being shown to which room I was going to be staying in. When you exited the room that you were in, where the picture was taken, do you recall who remained in the room? I don't. Do you recall seeing Virginia exit that room? I don't. during this trip to New York, did you have to perform any work when you were in New York, when you were in the New York house? Jesus. Billionaire Glenn Dubin and his former private chef David Limited Brands founder. Limited Brands. Is the Victoria's Secret Lex Warren? Isn't he the old man? Like the old man? Yes. Let me show you this. Discreet. Where is he at? Hold on. Leslie Wexner. Okay, that's his name. This guy right here is who is basically responsible for malls in America. Yes, mods, please keep the disclaimers up. Yeah, we're learning. There's literally 900 pages. More is going to drop at a later date. Bear with me. Okay, we got that. We got that. We're just getting them in as we get them in. While that's waiting, I want to show you all this. Hold on. What is this? Yeah, it's going to be on a rolling basis. Here's a picture that Jeffrey Epstein owned. Picture of Bush. Is Stephen King on there? On one occasion, she adds, Epstein did invite 2 young brunettes to dinner, which he gave on his Caribbean island for Mr. Clinton shortly after he left office. But as far as she knows, the ex-president did not take the bait. I have been about 17 at the time, she says. I flew to the Caribbean, and Jeffrey and Maxwell went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter that Jeffrey bought her. She always wanted to fly, and Jeffrey paid for her to take lessons. And I remember she was very excited because he got her license around the first year we met. I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill had the Secret Service with him, and I remember him talking about what a good job she did. I only met Bill twice, but Jeffrey told me that they were good friends. We all dined together that night. Jeffrey was at the head of the table. Bill was at the left. I sat across from Emmy Taylor, Maxwell's blonde British assistant sat to the right. Maxwell and Bill's left, and at the left of Maxwell were two olive-skinned brunettes who'd flown in with us from New York. I'd never met them before. I'd say they were no older than 17, very innocent looking. It's so blurry. They weren't there for me. They weren't there for Jeffrey or Maxwell because I was there to have sex with Jeffrey on the trip. Ooh. Maybe Jeffrey thought they would entertain Bill, but I saw no evidence that he was interested in them. He and Jeffrey and Maxwell seemed to have a very good relationship. Bill was very funny. He made me laugh a few times, and he and Jeffrey and Maxwell told I don't know if it says blonde jokes or blonky jokes. And the brunettes listened politely and giggled. After dinner, I gave Jeffrey an erotic massage. I don't remember seeing Bill again on that trip, but I assume Maxwell flew him back. Disgusting. Like, for real. There was some this evening. There was a couple that remained off the list for the time being. So let's see how. Sorry, I was reading something. Yeah. What is this? Okay. All right, here we go. Did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's home? Not that I can remember. On his island? No, not that I can remember. In Mexico? No, that I can remember. In New York? No, that I can remember. All right, if you could turn the second page and read through those, let me know if. Okay. Contact you when you're approved. Mrs. Crowley, objection. Miss Menninger, Marvin Minsky, I don't know that. George Lucas, no. Donald Trump, no. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. Sorry, I have to ask you, but did you ever? Okay, I already read that one. I was living in a secret about what I was doing the massages, and I did not want my friends to know what I was doing, so I did not want anyone else coming into that. Was Bill Clinton a friend of Jeffrey Epstein? Miss Menninger, objection. Foundation by Miss Crawley. Let me back up. Do you know if Bill Clinton was a friend of Jeffrey Epstein? Answer: I knew he had dealings with Bill Clinton, but I did not know he was a friend until I read the article in Vanity Fair. Did you ever talk to him about Bill Clinton? He said one time that the Clinton likes them young, referring to girls. Do you ever recall taking a trip to Jeffrey Epstein home in New Mexico? Yes. And how did you recall that went on? Would you remember if you had? I hope I would remember. Did you meet Cameron Diaz? No. Bill Clinton? No. Did you see Bill Clinton on the island? No. Did you see Bill Clinton in a helicopter being flown to Maxwell? No. Did Maxwell ever tell you that she had flown Bill Clinton in a helicopter? Objection. I don't recall her saying that. Oh God, this is a mess, y'all. I've got the list in front of me. Let's see. Let's just read some of it. Okay. Okay, let's all right. In what order did Taco Bell, Publix, and Mar-a-Lago and Avery? Sorry. Oh, I would have to guess. Do you want me to guess? Sure. I would say Publix, and then I think that's when I helped my boyfriend out at Taco Bell. And then I think the Avery. And where was the Taco Bell? I think in Fort Lauderdale. I think it was in Fort Lauderdale. Don't quote me on that, but somewhere in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, something like that. And who were you living with at the time? Michael. His name is James, but Michael. So you were living with Michael when you worked at Taco Bell, right? Yes, I was living with him. And you worked with Michael when you worked at the Publix, correct? No. So, okay, public. Okay, where's the Mar-a-Lago part? Okay. Okay, anywhere else did you wear a uniform besides Mar-a-Lago? And yeah, that was it. Okay, so how long was it between working all of these three places at a time? You worked at Mar-a-Lago. I have no idea. I'm sorry. Years, months. Oh, we're going to go back chronologically. I was trying to get my GED and I was in summer break, and that's when I started working at Mar-a-Lago. So that Mar-a-Lago, we know now this is in the year 2000, so I would have to say a month. And what was your job to believe you had immediately prior to Mar-a-Lago? If I were correct, it would be the Avery that I volunteered at. Okay, so you believe you were with your parents at the time you were working at the Avery? Yes. And not living with Michael. Michael might have been living with me and my parents. So you recall Michael was living with you and your parents at the work at the Avery? Yes, Miss Crawley. Objection. mischaracterization testimony. And was Michael living with you and your parents at the time you started at Mar-a-Lago? Yes. And what was the address of Michael living with you at your parents and started at Mar-a-Lago? My parents' address. My dad is a maintenance manager, supervisor. I guess she means at Mar-a-Lago. I don't know what you call it, but he worked at the maintenance department, mostly on tennis courts, working on air conditioning, helping set up functions. And he got me a summer job there. And you said you were on break. Yes. Okay. Do you know how to work the lockers? Well, I mean, there were girls who already worked there in the front desk. I think she helped me make appointments and greeted people. And then she told me how to do the duties of the locker room where, to make tea. I never made tea before, so that was fun. Learn how to make tea, clean up after the ladies who had been in the locker room, make sure the bathrooms were kept nice and tidy. You fold the toilet paper into a little triangle every time anyone went to the toilet, clean up the sink area. It was a crazy job. All right, let me go back here to see if there is anything else that the news has found. Bear with me, y'all. Okay. Just want to see if the news has found anything. Come on, man.
Learned that the former president is planning to attend arguments next week in his appeals court case on presidential immunity. The story was first reported by the New York Times. Joining us.
Why is nobody talking about this? Probably they're still going over the documents, I guarantee it. Guarantee they're still going over the. Okay, I think I'm getting some more stuff here.
Violence. So just in terms of these objective metrics, a lot of things were going haywire in this country 4 years ago while Donald Trump was president. So let's look at where things are 4 years later under President Joe Biden. Thankfully, the worst of the pandemic is over.
Here. All right, I'm going to read something to y'all in just 1 second. I'm getting some stuff in. Bear with me. I've been refreshing everything like all damn day long, especially after 6 o'clock, because I knew they closed at 6 o'clock and it would be really shortly after that. Last one, November 2023. Okay. One second. JP Morgan settles Epstein lawsuit with U.S. Virgin Islands and Jess Staley. It will pay $75 million to the territory which alleged the bank facility Epstein's. Holy hell. Look at this. It will pay $75 million to the territory which alleged that the bank facility Epstein's sex ring. JP Morgan did not admit any wrongdoing in the settlement. Yesterday that they were saying that JP Morgan was extremely worried because their top clients was in there. Lawyers for Mr. Stanley, a former bank, did not immediately respond to the BBC's request for comment. The Wall Street giant had previously reached $290 million settlement for Epstein's victims, and it settled with Mr. Stanley for an undisclosed sum of confidential agreement. Mr. Stanley has denied knowing about Epstein's SEX crimes. Its $75 million settlement to the U.S. Virgin Islands will include $30 million to support local charities, $25 million to strengthen law enforcement around HT, human, you know what, and $20 million in legal fees. It totals less than half of the $100 million the territory had sought. JP Morgan said it believed that the settlement was, quote, in its best interest for all parties, end quote. The latest move attempts to draw a line under a legal battle that has seen the bank and the island territory ties that the late Epstein succumbed over last year. A trial in the case for the U.S. Virgin Island had been set for October 23rd. Jeffrey Epstein was a JP Morgan client in 1998 to 2013. He owned two private islands where girls were, quote, lured and recruited, end quote, to the Caribbean home and allegedly forced into SEX, according to a previous lawsuit filed. The bank added in its statement, quote, the firm deeply regrets any association with the man and would never have continued doing business with him if we believed he was using the bank in any way to commit his heinous crimes, end quote. Public court filing in this case accused the bank of ignoring, quote, red flags, end quote, about Epstein, including repeated cash withdrawals. Epstein, yeah, we know he died. So there's that. Okay. Can you imagine? They called it Pedo Island, the locals did. That is, ugh. These people. Let's see. Breaking Jeffrey Epstein's victim claims she was, quote, sent to have SEX with billionaire hedge fund founder Glenn Dublin. In a transcript of a 2016 deposition, Julia elaborated on her claim that Maxwell farmed her out. Oh my God. For SEX, Epstein's powerful associates. Farmed her out? What? These people are disgusting, in my opinion. Hold on, I think we got the full list now, maybe here. Um, um, where? I have to ask somebody something. All right, I'm going to read something to you. Perhaps even more important to her role in Epstein's abuse ring, Maxwell directed connections to other powerful individuals with whom she could connect Epstein. For instance, one such powerful individual, Epstein forced Jane Doe number 3 to have relations with a member of the British royal family, Prince Andrew, aka Duke of York. Jane Doe number 3 was forced to have relations with Prince when she was a minor in 3 separate geographical locations. What? When she was a minor in 3 separate geographical locations. Oh my God. In London, Maxwell's apartment, in New York, and on Epstein's private island in U.S. Virgin Islands, in an orgy with numerous other underage girls. Epstein instructed Jane Doe number 3 that she was to give the prince whatever he demanded, and required Jane Doe number 3 to report back to him on the details of the abuse. Maxwell facilitated Prince Andrew's acts on abuse by acting as a madame for Epstein, therefore assisting in internationally trafficking Jane Doe number 3 and numerous other young girls for purposes. Abuse of Jane Doe number 3 and others. Maxwell took numerous explicit pictures of underage girls involved in activities, including Jane Doe number 3. She shared these photographs, which consisted, oh my God, which consisted child P under applicable federal laws with Epstein. The government is apparently aware of and is certain instances possesses some of these photographs, allegedly. So, perhaps even more important to her role is Epstein's okay, sorry, that one, it goes back. So, all right, there's that one. Okay, bear with me, y'all. That is beyond. Haven't saw that yet. Yeah, please. I'm not. Yeah, the politics stuff is Clinton and Trump. So. Okay. So Clinton and Trump are both, this is from USA Today. Clinton and Trump are named in Jeffrey Epstein documents, no wrongdoing alleged. Former President Bill Clinton and Donald Trump are mentioned in newly unsealed Jeffrey Epstein related court documents, but they are not accused of any wrongdoings involving the disgraced T financier. Clinton, who sometimes flew aboard Epstein's private plane, is listed repeatedly in documents because he was the topic of an argument over the credibility of a witness who said she saw the former president when he was a guest of Epstein. Trump's name appeared in a document in which Epstein is quoted to saying he would invite the real estate mogul to a casino, which we read that just a few minutes ago. In another document, an unnamed witness said was never asked to engage in relationships with Trump. And we read that also, that neither one of them in these documents, according to the witnesses that did the deposition, said there was no wrongdoings by either one of them. The unsealed documents also listed prominent individual who have denied accusations against them, including Prince Andrew of Great Britain. Now, him, you know what I mean. And prominent litigator Alan Dershowitz. The Epstein list and guilt by association, Dershowitz said on a social media platform, Twitter, X, formerly Twitter, all of the accused have denied allegations of the wrongdoing in connection with Epstein. Most of the documents unsealed late Wednesday were part of the lawsuit brought by Epstein's victims. The one of Maxwell's attorneys, Singrid McCrawley, said more needs to be known about, quote, who enabled and felicitated Epstein's T network, and the survivors of his deserve more justice. The public interest must still be served in learning more about the scale and the scope of Epstein racket for further the important goal of shutting down traffic wherever it exists and holding more to account, end quote, McCrawley said. The unsealing of these documents get us closer to that goal. Other names include abuse victims, litigation witnesses, and Epstein associates and employees. Many of the names only a list of the financier who accused of operating an international ring targeting underage girls. Some are now deceased. Yes, there are victims out there that absolutely have even taken their own life, right? Unfortunately. Please put in my opinion, IMO or allegedly when someone when you make a claim about something. So is anyone who's Emmy Taylor? Let me look this up. Emmy Taylor. Now age 44 and quiet livingly in Oxford, Miss Taylor was named repeatedly in the unsealed court documents as the former personal. Oh, okay. She was the assistant to Maxwell. That's who she was. Yes, thank you, BB. Thank you so much. Connie S., thank you so much for 5 months, my love. I appreciate you. There's a video of where he's still on his island. You mean Epstein? No, Epstein is dead, y'all. She scheduled the massages. Love you too, one love. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you. So yeah, I think. Let me just see if there's anything else coming out. It's going to take a lot of people time. What's this? Oh, listen. If this shows you that here's Stephen Hawking. He was there. Now, obviously, he was a genius mind. Exactly. I should just add in my opinion to my username. I like that. See something, say something. Exactly. That's what you do. Yeah, it's very important, guys. But here's Stephen Hawking, who obviously the secret black book. I'm gonna have to see about that book. I might read it. But I tell you, this right here, I just can't. Or him. Michael Jackson. Yeah, we've already read it. Everything. Okay, I've covered everything that we'll have to look through more of it. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end it here. We'll go over this list thoroughly tomorrow. There is so much sickness. I can't even. Oh my God, y'all. This is like I need a shower after just hearing what I've already heard. I tell you, be good people or something. Like it's is it hard to be like a decent person? I guess it is for like, billionaires, trillionaires, I don't know. Very disturbing. Love you all. Love you, love you, love you. Appreciate you. Thank you all for being here. I'll check on my community post. I'll probably post some more stuff later tonight. I may go live later tonight. We'll just have to see. Thank you, Isaac Brown. Thank you. It's very kind of you. I just can't. These things make me sick. Yes, crush that like because I'm not getting anything on this video at all. Nothing. Nada. They don't do nothing when you put Epstein or you talk, the manner that we're talking about. But I'll have a blow pop. All right, y'all. Good night. Love loves. Bye-bye.